No one ever dogged
Yes, sir.
Oscar De La Hoya the way Floyd did. Every single press conference, he treated him like he was a.
I've been quiet for a minute because I've been collecting as much information as possible over the past month just so I can be accurate. And it's finally time to unleash the fab.
He can't be a successful promoter if he's always wanting to be in the spotlight. His desire to be always noticed, always.
Oscar De La Hoya didn't hold back in a live interview with Stephen A. Smith, taking direct shots at Floyd Mayweather by calling him a fraud and scam artist. He accused Floyd of transforming boxing into a popularity contest instead of a sport defined by courage and talent. De La Hoya criticized Mayweather's obsession with flaunting wealth, arguing that boxing should be about passion and legacy, not just paychecks. He warned that Floyd's focus on riches and fame is undermining the essence of boxing and sending the wrong message to the next generation of fighters.
You say you want to be a world champion. You say you want to take this sport serious. Then take it serious. What is this? This is not a popularity contest.
De La Hoya described Mayweather as a genius at playing the antagonist in their long-running feud. He acknowledged that Floyd skillfully shaped public opinion by leaning into the villain role. In contrast, De La Hoya felt he had to uphold a hero image while also promoting the bout, a dual role that came with challenges. He admitted that Mayweather's strategy was clever, but said it also revealed a certain immaturity, relying on trash talk and theatrics instead of letting skill and sportsmanship take center stage.
It's like that rivalry, the villain and the good guy, you know? And Floyd, this is where Floyd is smart. He knows how to play that villain guy, you know?
And you're promoting the fight.
Yeah, and I'm promoting the fight.
Yeah.
And I'm promoting the fight.
De La Hoya reflected on the massive financial success of their fight, which set records and pulled in nearly $400 million from pay-per-view alone. The event's earnings underscored the immense commercial appeal of their rivalry and showcased how profitable high-stakes boxing could be from a business perspective, beyond just the athletic competition inside the ring.
How much money did that generate?
At the time, yeah, it was the record-setting pay-per-view. I think we generated something like close to, all in, like close to 400 million. Yeah, in one night. So
Oscar De La Hoya shared that for him, boxing was always a matter of honor and establishing a meaningful legacy rather than chasing riches. He said he fought for something greater than money, aiming to secure a lasting place in the sport's history. In contrast, he accused Mayweather of being driven mostly by financial gain. While Oscar respected Floyd's savvy business moves, he believed Mayweather prioritized profit over legacy, focusing more on self-promotion than on the spirit and tradition of the sport.
You didn't promote that fight with Mayweather. Would you have pulled out?
probably, yeah, probably, because there was too much. Put the money aside. For me, it's about pride. For me, it was about, man, I want to have a winning chance.
Mayweather's frequent boasting about his wealth continues to spark criticism, especially when he compares himself to fighters like Anthony Joshua. Though Floyd's made millions in the ring, many argue that his fixation on earnings overshadows what really matters: his boxing legacy. In a recent statement, Floyd compared his fight against Manny Pacquiao to Joshua's bouts, bragging that he didn't need massive crowds to make $74 million at the gate. His claim that he's operating on a different planet seemed to emphasize his desire to be seen, not just as a champion, but as the richest in the game.
And, I guess, his, because, he talks about his money a lot, so he compared, his fight with Pacquiao to Anthony Joshua, and he was saying, basically, they didn't need 100,000 or 90,000 people to do X amount of dollars. Here, I'm gonna let you listen to it. Here's what he had to say verbatim. Here's what Floyd said about Anthony Joshua.
Talk about that. I was in the Guinness Book of World Record for breaking all the records. You didn't tell them that?
Of course you have.
For generating billions in the sport of boxing, that or having the fastest sellout crowd.
But
those guys done. And I was watching a fight when I was at my Miami house. I was at my Miami home. I was watching a fight with Klitschko and the guy.
Many analysts interpret this behavior as rooted in jealousy, saying Mayweather constantly draws financial comparisons to other fighters. Even with all his achievements, Floyd's remarks often come off as defensive in an attempt to reaffirm his dominance through earnings. His preoccupation with wealth and superiority often distracts from the deeper aspects of his legacy, like his influence on the sport itself. Some believe this signals an insecurity, particularly when seeing other fighters like Joshua win over fans in ways that go beyond just dollar signs.
And they said that this is electrifying, sort of like the Pacquiao and Mayweather. And I said, well, we didn't have to have all those hundreds of thousands to do a $74 million gate. So, and like I said before, but those guys put on a hell of a show. Like I said before, you know, I'm just on another planet. And you definitely know it. Because you've been around for years. And you see the same thing over and over and over.
All right, so there you have it. Mayweather basically saying that, you know, he's on another planet and all this stuff, and that, you know, they need 90,000 people and all this stuff. But, I mean, let's look at it like this. Jealousy, I noticed with Floyd, and it shouldn't be that way, because Floyd, you know, regardless of what I had to say about his career, I have my opinions on it. You know, he was a A-level fighter. Skills out, you know, had skills, was a really skilled fighter, A-level fighter.
Rivalry between De La Hoya and Mayweather dates back to their blockbuster 2007 clash, which became a major milestone in Mayweather's career. That fight was his first big money event, earning him $1 million and catapulting him into the spotlight as a legitimate pay-per-view attraction, opening the door to his future superstardom in the sport.
We welcome into SportsCenter the former #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, Floyd Mayweather. Floyd, welcome back. We've missed you, Floyd.
Hey, how you doing? I'm not no former #1 pound-for-pound fighter. I'm just saying I'm the best fighter in the sport of boxing. No one has dethroned me, so how am I not pound-for-pound the best fighter in the world? You tell me.
Because you're retired?
But have I ever been beat?
But what happens is you informed Ring Magazine
Well,
you're
once again, I already forgot who I'm talking to. I'm talking to Brian Kenny.
Despite the role De La Hoya played in elevating him, Floyd has rarely acknowledged it, letting his ego overshadow the facts. Even though Oscar was the top draw at the time, Floyd has always claimed he was the real star. In previous interviews, Mayweather aggressively defended his reputation, stating, "I'm the best fighter in boxing. How am I not pound for pound?" Number 1. He often dismisses critics and past champions, bluntly stating that De La Hoya didn't do anything in their bout, which Floyd narrowly won by split decision.
Top what I've done in 2 fights.
Well, one was with Oscar De La Hoya, who was the cash king.
I'm the cash cow, please.
Not compared to Oscar De La Hoya. Have you drawn as much as Oscar De La Hoya in pay-per-view, Floyd?
De La Hoya been on pay-per-view 1,000 times. It took me 2 times, 3.5 million homes. Me, Floyd Mayweather.
No, with Oscar De La Hoya, though.
Oscar De La Hoya didn't do nothing. Did he win?
It was a split decision loss, as a matter of fact.
Come on, man.
But it was with him.
Once again, like I said before, we're talking to Brian Kenny, a man of many traits, a master of nothing.
Floyd, you waited over a year to come back. Why not wait one more weekend until Pacquiao and Hatton was over and we knew the winner?
I don't have to wait for nobody.
Oscar De La Hoya shared that following his bout with Floyd, Mayweather Jr., Floyd's father, Mayweather Sr., privately told him he believed Oscar had actually won. Despite this, the official judges gave the decision to Floyd Jr. Oscar also highlighted a contractual clause stating that if Floyd won, they'd have a rematch within a year. However, Floyd Jr. abruptly announced his retirement the very next day and remained inactive for a year, just long enough to avoid triggering the clause. Oscar believes this was a calculated move to dodge the rematch, calling it an unfair outcome made worse by Floyd Sr.'s own admission that Oscar had outboxed his son.
As a fighter, you know, deep down inside, you know if you win or you lose. Did you know? I felt that I won. I felt that it can go either way, especially when Mayweather's father came straight at me and he goes, "Oscar, you beat my son."
Wait, he told you right after the fight?
Oh, yeah. And a funny story about that, too. We had a rematch clause in our contract. This is something I negotiated as well. Because if he beats me, I get a rematch. It was a 1-year clause. Guess what he did? He retired for 1 year and 1 day.
Are you joking?
No. True story. Nobody knows this, but it's in the contract.
What? So how often did you guys try to get another thing going? It was always no, not interested. No, not interested.
Yeah, not interested. I'm retiring. I'm out of the sport. But sure enough, a day after that contract was over, he announces his unretirement.
According to De La Hoya and several analysts, Mayweather struggles with accepting that anyone might surpass him, whether it's in boxing talent or financial success. His brand hinges on being the best ever, and any suggestion that another fighter might be greater seems to genuinely bother him. Rather than ignore it, Floyd often lashes out, dismissing the achievements of Canelo, Pacquiao, or any rising stars. Even in retirement, he finds ways to reclaim attention, constantly reminding everyone of his undefeated record. His drive to be seen as untouchable in both skill and earnings makes it clear that he craves being recognized as #1 always.
Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. In the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that...
The greatest of all time.
Okay.
All right.
While Floyd Mayweather has often put himself above boxing legends like Muhammad Ali, Oscar De La Hoya doesn't agree. He's called Floyd the most overrated fighter in the sport's history, arguing that Mayweather's opponents lack the historical significance of those faced by true greats like Ali. Oscar criticizes Floyd's carefully chosen fights and believes the undefeated record doesn't tell the full story. To De La Hoya, greatness comes from facing the best, even when it's risky, not from calculated moves to protect a perfect record. The debate over Floyd's legacy continues, but Oscar insists greatness requires more than just numbers. It demands real test of character in the ring.
Who's an overrated boxer? Well, you don't want to get in trouble here.
I don't mind.
All right.
Overrated boxer, fighter, most overrated, Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Really?
Yes.
He's not a great boxer.
No, he is a great, but his resume is not one like Sugar Ray Leonard or one like Muhammad Ali.
De La Hoya has repeatedly criticized Floyd Mayweather's focus on money rather than legacy. He pointed out that Floyd often boasts about his wealth and draws attention by associating with influencers and YouTubers. Mayweather's exhibition with Logan Paul, for example, was more about hype than competition, and while profitable, Oscar felt it was a departure from real boxing. He argued that Floyd turned the sport into a spectacle, undermining its seriousness. Oscar also called out Floyd for mocking fighters like Ryan Garcia while profiting from the same social media-driven fan base, calling it hypocritical and damaging to boxing's core values.
Talking about skid Ryan Garcia. Tank got his followers from kicking. Ryan Garcia got his followers from YouTubers. There's a difference. So you want to be a YouTuber or you want to be a fighter? Tank is a fighter.
What the fuck? So Ryan Garcia's not a fighter? He's been fighting since he was 7 years old. He has 200 plus amateur fights. I don't care where his followers come from, if they come from fucking Mars. The fact is that Ryan's followers are selling this fight. And plus, don't you remember you fought YouTubers? Are you putting YouTubers down? You profited from them. I can't with you, dude. You're fucking dumbass. I can't wait. April 22nd, Ryan Garcia fucking knocking out Tank Davis.
Oscar De La Hoya continues to express concern over Floyd Mayweather's exhibition bouts, saying they prioritize money over meaningful contributions to boxing. Floyd's public persona, built around luxury and success, has made him millions, but Oscar believes it has come at the cost of his legacy. Matches like the one with Logan Paul, Oscar argues, lack the competitive spirit that defines true champions. These events are more entertainment than sport, and though financially successful, they don't elevate Floyd's place in boxing history. De La Hoya sees true greatness in taking on tough challenges, not in cashing checks from easy, non-competitive fights.
Okay, Floyd Mayweather fought another exhibition against Gotti last Saturday. A real show that left the crowd booing in the arena at the end. But in the middle of the second round, Floyd literally had the referee swapped out. He didn't like that the referee told him to stop hitting behind the head. Floyd is used to having the refs do whatever he wants, and he wasn't getting his way this time. It was so embarrassing. Floyd, you're 50 years old. You're a legend in the sport. I've stood up for you in countless interviews, including Shannon Sharp's podcast last week. But you have to stop embarrassing yourself with these exhibitions. I know life is hard. I know life is expensive. But come on, dude, put your legacy first. Nobody wants to remember you like this. And it gets worse. Your jeweler filed a lawsuit against you in Miami. And many are saying you're gonna have to sell off your assets. Floyd, I'm rooting for you. Come on, let's turn it around.
Jeff Mayweather revealed that Floyd's disdain for Oscar De La Hoya stemmed from more than just competition. It was about pride and money. At the time, Oscar was boxing's biggest star, generating massive paydays and attention, which Floyd resented. Floyd often insulted Oscar at press events, While Oscar chose to stay composed, avoiding public retaliation, analysts believe this behavior reflects Floyd's struggle to share the spotlight. Even as a promoter, his need for attention overshadows his fighters, limiting their growth. Instead of boosting names like Gervonta Davis or Adrian Broner, Floyd's ego keeps him front and center, hindering the rise of those he promotes.
Whether he can't be a successful promoter if he's always wanting to be in the spotlight. His desire to be always noticed, always the one that is at the center of attention. You know what I mean? It's like, you look at Adrian Broner, Adrian Broner, he's supposed to have beef with Tank Davis now, throwing him in there with Lomachenko, which I think he's ready for Lomachenko now.
Critics argue that Mayweather's exhibition fights like the one with Logan Paul highlight his priority on profit over progress in the sport. These events may generate millions, but they have little to boxing's legacy or his own as a promoter. Analysts say that Floyd seems more interested in staying in the limelight and making money than mentoring or uplifting the next generation. His actions suggest that personal branding and wealth take precedence over the responsibilities of being a true promoter. As a result, many believe he's undermining his role in shaping boxing's future in favor of preserving his own image.
Who he's promoting or anything like that, it makes it worse and it makes it more obvious because he's promoting these guys. He doesn't like the idea of anyone shining. And that's the egotistical mindset of Floyd Mayweather Jr. He's always going to be that person. Not too long ago when Andre Ward was still fighting, and this was like a year and a half ago, he had words to say about Andre Ward, and Andre Ward's a stand-up guy. Okay. He's the type of guy that he has something to say about you. He's going to say it to you. He's not really going to go on social media and blast you. He's a straightforward guy. But Floyd said, derogatory things about Andre Ward. And he took offense to it, and it comes back to just jealousy. Floyd is one of those type of guys.
That wraps up the segment for today. Thanks for tuning in. And don't forget to stick around for more updates and breakdowns in the next video.